That's fighting actions right there. We ready to throw them hands in prison if you. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance on hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Today, we will be talking about habits that I developed in prison that I still have to this day. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Some of them are good, but some of them are like, seriously, girlfriend, really? There's actually even one of them where I've messed my body up and my body doesn't function the same. So if you're interested in hearing all of that, give this video a like right now and let's just get into it. Okay, the first habit that I have, and Lord knows I'm gonna get 5,000 comments down below telling me you shouldn't do that, but it's a habit, okay? It's a habit. Running the bathroom water when you're going to the bathroom. Pee or poo, okay? I know that you guys are gonna tell me how much I'm wasting water, but listen, this is the deal. When you're in prison, you have absolutely no privacy at all. So when you're going potty, especially number 2, you know what I'm saying? You know those little girly noises that you make that like sound like a flower blooming, like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the kind of noises we make when we go number 2, right? Like, ooh, ah, you know what I'm saying? You turn the water on. It's so funny because like in the second prison that I was in, Hernando, you would walk down this long like thing and then there's like all sinks on one side and then all toilets on the other side. And like I told you, there's no doors or anything like that. It's all open bay, as you would say, or whatever. And so like you would see people coming in to go poo and everybody wants that last stall back there. Well, Lord Jesus, if y'all knew the things that went on in that last stall back there, not all of them was going to the bathroom. Some of them was use your imagination. Anyway, so you walk in and like turn on all the sink. So all of them are running and then you go to that back stall and you blow it down. Well, unless you're like me and you just go bloop, bloop, because that's how I go poo. Anyway, so yeah, that's still a habit I do to this day. When I need to go to the bathroom, it's like I run water for like a white noise because I don't want nobody hearing me, you know, blooming flowers. All right. So the next habit that I still have is needing to sleep with a white noise. Playing off on the other one, okay? The fans, something about the fans that blew in that second prison that I was in, that the whole time because there was no AC, was calming or something. So I have to have a fan running in my room when I sleep. It doesn't matter if it's 2 degrees, which I live in Florida, so let's just say 30 degrees is about as cold as it gets here. It doesn't matter if it's 30 degrees, I have the fan on. And if you want to know how I do that, like I'll turn the fan not towards my bed, like maybe towards the door. I mean, with enough room. Don't worry, I'm not starting a fire or anything crazy with like blowing a fan straight into a wall. But I'll blow the fan because I need to hear that noise. I don't know what it is. And if I'm in a hotel room or something like that, I have to have the air on or something on, the fan on in the bathroom, something that gives you that white noise, okay? Leave me a star emoji below if you need to sleep with a white noise of some sort. Thanks, guys. Let me know if I'm alone out here on this plank. The next one is a double-edged sword, okay? It's good and bad. Before I went to prison, I drank nothing but sodas and Cokes and teas and Snapples and whatever, alcohol, whatever, but I never really drank water. I didn't have any need for it. You know, I was young, like who cares? What do I need water for, right? Well, so when I went to prison, that's the majority of what I drank was water. I mean, sure, every now and then I would get like a Diet Coke off of the canteen, but your girl didn't have money to drink sodas all day long, so I drank a lot of water, okay? The crazy thing about it is, ever since then, now I have to drink water. If I drink, let's say, too many coffees, or if I'm on vacation and I'm like just getting with it and having a good time and I drink coffee for breakfast and then tea for lunch and maybe a soda for dinner, I will get like a UTI instantly, and it will instantly go away if I drink like a gallon of water. It like flushes it out, but my bladder sets on fire because like when I was in prison and I was drinking nothing but water, it's like I reset I don't know what it is. Maybe my nurses can let me know what happened to me down below, but yeah, so even still to this day, I have to drink water all day long or my bladder will get inflamed because I gave my little bladder a little taste of water and now she, you know what I'm saying? Once you go H2O, you don't ever go back. I don't know, y'all, I'm so corny. Moving on. The next habit that I got in prison that I still do to this day is making my bed. Yes, you have to make your bed in prison, and not only do you have, you have to have them corners crisp, okay? That pillow needs to be laid flat, okay? It needs to be looking all tight because they come by and they check them beds and they inspect them. Now, I'm not super crazy about my bed being like perfect now, but it has to be made, pillows on, set, and also my kids have to do that too. They have to make their beds as well, and it's just actually a really good habit. First of all, your room can be kind of messy. Not that my room is ever messy. It's always spotless. But your room can be kind of messy, and if your bed is made, it looks put together. But your room can be put together and your bed's not made and your whole room looks messy. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me. Let me know if I'm crazy down below. But having your bed made just makes everything look so crisp. So I still make my bed to this day. Working out. Yes, working out. That is where I fell in love with fitness, was in prison. And I started running in prison, and like I told you guys, I was a fitness instructor while I was in prison, and I fell in love with it there, and I'm still in love with it to this day. That actually ended up being my mental escape and how I really, just focused on myself and how I felt and on my body, and not in an unhealthy way by any means. Maybe in prison it was an unhealthy way, but not today. But we'll talk about that in my eating disorder video. Moving on. But yes, working out, and I still work out to this day, and that was in 2005, and this is 2019, and your girl still gets it, and I always will. That is my plan. One of the main reasons why I work out, other than the fact that it's like the best thing for my mental health, it makes me feel good. The way my body looks is honestly just a bonus. Even if my body didn't look the way it looks, which is not a perfect body, trust and believe it, but even if my body didn't look the way it looked, I would still work out. And I recommend anybody working out. I don't care if you're 700 pounds or if you're 100 pounds, as long as you don't have an eating disorder, because that's a whole nother issue with working out and then having eating disorder. But I think you should at least walk because it's so good for you, and you need to find out the science behind it. Let me know if y'all want me to do that video. Moving on, working out. Next one. Another habit that I picked up in prison was not judging people by their appearance. And what I mean by that, I don't mean color or skin color or anything like that. I have never been that type of person. I just never, ever, ever, ever been that type of person. And somebody like me, especially, that has always been judged by whatever. I'm not like that with other people. But what I mean by appearance is being in prison is where I really learned that people that have like HIV or AIDS or STDs may not look like it, okay? Back in 2005 when I went to prison, it was so in the early stages that everybody pretty much thought that if you had AIDS or HIV that you would have like lesions and sores all over your body and you'd be real shriveled up and skinny. But I met a lot of women in there that looked just like me and you. Women that were thick that had HIV and AIDS. And I also learned that, in there some of the women, because I ask questions, like I want to know, and I love talking to people, and I love hearing people's story, which is why I love that y'all love hearing my story. But I would sit down and talk to women about their HIV or their AIDS, and they were always very open with me. And, they would tell me that like when they took their medicine that they could take a test, and on their test, it would show negative because of their blood count or whatever, white blood count, red blood count. I don't know. Y'all let me know below which one it is. I can't remember. But it would, not even show up on a test. And I was really like, wow, like people that have like STDs, if they take their medication, you can't see it. You can't judge them by their appearance. Or people that have, AIDS or HIV, or sicknesses, like you can't judge it by their appearance. I was so ignorant before, and I learned that in there. And so my habit now with that is that I know it doesn't matter what you look like. You don't know what's going on the inside of that person. So I'm grateful for that one. All right, another habit that I started while I was in prison was waking up early, and I still wake up early. Sometimes I wish I could sleep in, but ever since then, like, I'm up first thing in the morning, making my bed, drinking my coffee, and like getting my day started. And that is a really good thing about prison, especially if you can keep that habit going, is they do get you in that pattern, because you have to get up. You have to get up, you have to make your bed, you have to go have breakfast or drink your coffee or whatever you choose to do. You don't have to go to the chow hall, but you know, like, it's just a routine. And if you have to do it for years and years and years, it kind of becomes ingrained in you. So, and that's another reason why I drill a lot of these things into my kids while they're little. And I'll talk about that in a parenting video, and yes, I am going to do it, is that, like, if you start habits with children when they're very, very small, then when they get older, it's not a big deal, right? Like, my baby boy's been doing chores since he was 4 years old. You know, now that he's 7, I ask him to vacuum. He's not like, it's just something he's always done. He doesn't remember anything else, right? Keeping his room clean. He's just always done it. So when I say, is your room clean? And he says yes or no. If it's not, I say, clean your room, and he just does it. I mean, of course, he's a kid. Sometimes he may be busy and not, but, you know, we don't play that, you know, clean your room. Okay, moving on. Another habit that I have from prison that I still have to this day is eating super fast. Okay, when we would have to go to the chow hall, we would have 3 minutes to get our, when you walk in that door, baby girl and baby boys, you have to walk in there, get your tray, sit down, eat 3 minutes, in and out. Literally, this is the way it works in the chow hall. You walk in, you get your tray, and you sit down, and it's like filling up in there. But as it's filling up, as soon as one fills up, another one has to leave. It's forever moving. You don't just go in, sit down, eat a nice meal, kiki ka with your friends. Not in the prisons that I was in, baby girl. You have 3 minutes to get in and get out. And still to this day, I try to slow down and enjoy my food, but it's just like this habit of like shoveling it in. Like, got to get it in, get done, and I'm always finished before anybody else. Another habit that I developed in prison that I still do to this day is food combinations and basically being able to eat anything, right? Yes. When you're in prison, when you get out, you're not going to be picky anymore. If you're picky when you go in, you won't be picky when you get out, because you've either got to eat it or starve, right? And so still to this day, even if something isn't the best tasting, I'll eat it, right? Like, I'll eat it. It doesn't have to be delicious or gourmet. Like, I can slap something and eat it if I'm hungry, right? It's just what it is. Or combining foods, weird things, like really weird food combinations. Let me know if y'all want to see a video on that. But in prison, you just have to mix things together to get good flavor, and I still do that today. Like, I'll mix a bunch of stuff together, and I don't know why, because I have plenty of seasonings, and I'm a pretty good cook, and I cook really good, but I still just like to mix it all together. I don't know, it's weird. I still do it. Another habit that I developed in prison that I still have to this day is getting very nervous when I see any kind of officer around me. A security guard, anybody that has any kind of security or officer or authority figure makes me nervous, whether I'm doing anything or not. It's like, I don't want to exaggerate and say like PTSD, but it's high anxiety, like, especially because I have been accused so much of things that I didn't do. Now, don't get me wrong, your girl has a laundry list of things that I have done, okay? So I'm no victim by any means. But because I have seen the power that can go behind people with authority like that they can just do whatever, it's scary, and it still terrifies me to this day. I mean, if a cop gets behind me, I dang near freak out. And I'm telling you, if I was to ever get pulled over, they would probably take me to jail just because they think I'm doing something wrong, because I'm going to look so nervous, even though I'm doing absolutely nothing wrong. It's like crazy. Like, I have a good license now. I haven't had a ticket in 14 years. Like, I've got a perfect driving record now. I walk the straight and narrow. But if a cop gets behind me, I am freaking out. Some of y'all can relate. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, oh my gosh. Like, you're almost swerving because you're like, am I in the lines? Oh my gosh. And you're in, like, it's like all of a sudden you're like, it's so weird. It's like you're looking in the rearview mirror, but you're also looking at the speedometer, but you're also trying to watch the road. And it's something that you do without thinking when you're driving. You check all those things. But as soon as a cop gets behind you, it's like, how do I do all these 3 things at once? Like, let's move on to the next one. Another habit that I got while I was in prison that I still do to this day is, don't you put your shoes on my bed, okay? That's fighting actions right there. We ready to throw them hands in prison. If you stand up there and put your feet on my bed, girl. And it's so crazy because I was watching 60 Days In, because y'all got me watching that show so I can do a review, and I'm going to, and I'm trying to get Jeremy in on it too because I've been making him watch it with me, and he's got so much to say. It's hilarious. I'm like, I need you on camera with me, so we're going to try to make that happen for you guys. But I don't remember what it was. They were in one of the little cells in the jail, and then like I saw this, one of them people walk up and they just had their foot on the bed, and I was telling Jeremy, I was like, oh, heck nah. That don't fly in prison. Don't you put your dirty behind foot or shoe where I sleep on my bed. And I'm still like that to this day. Get your feet off my bed. I mean, of course, if my kids, they don't have their shoes on or whatever, they can crawl up in my bed and put their feet on my bed. But don't come stand into my room and put your feet on my bed. Don't, nasty. And the last habit that I'm going to talk about today that I developed in prison that I still do to this day is over-salting my food. In prison, the food is very bland and really has no flavor. It almost all tastes the same. It's so bizarre. It's so weird to explain. They don't put hardly any seasoning in it. I don't know if they're not allowed to, or if they just don't, or they just, the cooks don't have the seasoning. But the only thing you would have is like these little salt thingies. So you would put tons of salt on your food before even tasting it because you knew there was no flavor. So still to this day, I have a habit. I have to stop myself of just like pouring the salt on. And it was super bad when I first got out, or like even when me and Jeremy first got together. But he was like, doggone, you put so much salt on your food. And it was just like such a habit. And if any of y'all like have sodium problems or stay away from salt, or you eat too much salt, you know that salt makes you poof, or at least me. I can tell every morning when I wake up if I had too much salt the day before, because my eyes are swollen, my fingers are swollen, I can't move my ring, I can't get it off. Like everything, it's just like the sodium in my body just makes me feel so gross. But it's just such a habit, so yeah. All right, my loves, I hope that y'all like this video of me telling you guys the habits that I developed in prison that I still use to this day. Please don't forget to like this video. It's a free way that you can help your girl out. And until next time, I love you guys so very much. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.